Hello, this is Park Center Media Specialist David Hilgendorf, here to help you with your lesson about the PowerPoint presentation for natural disasters. To begin, you will need to find your template for the PowerPoint presentation. That can be found on your iDrive. If you go to your computer, you should be able to find your iDrive for student assignments right on the desktop. And if you click on that and go to your teacher's name, Edwards or Cry, you should find the template under Disaster Template. Rather than opening it from here, you want to put that onto your own home drive, their H drive. To do that, I recommend that you open the home drive, and if you have a folder already for it, you can slide it into the folder. If you don't, you can just move it straight into where other documents are in the folder. Let go. And you'll remember it was called Disaster Template. Normally it would appear alphabetically on your list, but because it's brand new, you'll find it at the very bottom of the list. Now you want to rename this. So instead of it being Disaster Template Edwards Cry, you change it to the name of your disaster, let's say tornado. Oops, I made a mistake there. Yeah, you have to click on it twice so it appears like it does right now. Tornado, and then your name, your last name. So my last name is Hilgendorf, so I put Tornado Hilgendorf. So now that is the template we're going to use. So you can double click on that. And we've already created it so that all you need to do is add the information that you have gathered on your sheet. Let me show you that sheet again. So here's the front page of your assignment sheet, and you will have filled it in with your name, your disaster name. Today is the day that we're beginning to work on PowerPoint presentations here, and this is where you have filled out your information. Generally, each slide goes along with each area, each question that you have answered right next to it. So the first slide is simply the title, and the second slide will be this, the third slide will be this information. And for each slide you need to remember to include where you got your information. So let's go back to that PowerPoint. So for your title, you just click into that box, select what's there already, and say tornado or tornadoes. And then if you have thought of something that is special about tornadoes that you want people to remember, let's just say strong twisters. That way people can remember that it's twisting air. And then you'll want to also add a picture or some kind of image. Now to find an image, you can go to a web browser. Either Internet Explorer or Firefox should be on your computer. I'm going to create a new window and go to the Google Images, because they have an excellent selection of images available. There's Google Images. And so this is about tornadoes. So I'm going to put in the key search term tornado. You notice how I just have tornado and not tornadoes. So I'm going to search images. And this is a nice looking image. And I can see that it's from flatrock.org.nz. I'm wondering if that is going to be a source that I want to. Here's a NASA one. Let me use this one. So there's the image, and you should be able to just, if you want to adjust the size of your frame so that you can see where your PowerPoint presentation is, you can drag it from this corner down here. And then you should be able to drag your image directly onto the slide. So there it appears. You can change the size by clicking on it, make it bigger, make it smaller. and then at the bottom you want to add your name. So that will be your slide for when you're first telling people that you're going to be showing your presentation. The one thing that's missing is where this image came from. This is information, just like the information you recorded on your sheet about tornadoes. This information is going to be important to include in your citations page. Now your citations page just tells where you got the information that you're putting on the slideshow. And that page is the second to the last page. And in this template it's page 9. So you'll want to put that information there. So I'm going to go back to the Google image site where I found it. And Google is not the place where I found it. Even though that's how I found it, you actually have to cite the source. And the source is this site, this website address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this website address. And the way I do that is using the control button in the very bottom left corner of the keypad, and I hold that down and then press the C button for a moment. That's made me copy just that information. So now when I go back to this page, I can add in the information about the citation by pasting it. And I hold down the control button. Now I press V to paste that information in there. Now it's optimal, it's best if you have more information than just the name of the website. So what I'm going to do is go back to that website and actually click on the site itself and see if it has more information. So there's the picture that I'm looking for. And this is, it tells the author name right here, 2 authors. So I would want to include their names. And I'd also want to include, if it's on here somewhere, a date. 2005, June 13th. So 2005 should be enough for a citation of this type. So again, I'm going to copy and paste. You don't need to have this other information that they have, which schools they're from. That's what the initials stand for. All you need is their names, but I'm going to copy it all just to make it easier. And then I'm just going to remember that year, 2005, listed right here. Usually it's at the bottom of the web page on most web pages. And the names always go first, and you need to have the last name for the first name. So I'm going to get rid of this extra information. Just going to put a comma there. And I'm going to put his last name first. So I'm cutting this by holding down the control button and pressing the X, and pasting it, holding down control and pressing V. Nemirov, comma Robert. And the second name it's okay to have in regular name order. But again, you don't want any extra information. I'm going to put www here to make clear that this is a website. And then I'm going to put the year. And that should be enough information for a website citation. So going back to the PowerPoint presentation, we've entered a citation, and I'm looking at the first slide. So now you've learned how to enter information and an image. If you keep going through the slide, it will tell you what else to include here. And include a lot of images in your presentation. You'll also notice that at the bottom of the screen, there's a place for you to add notes. So for this first slide, you could say exactly what you plan to say during this first slide. Let's just make it up as we go here. Tornadoes, I think I spelled it wrong in the slide there. Tornadoes are a natural disaster that includes strong spinning wind. Something like that. So if you wanted to, you could open up your slideshow, not just showing the image, but saying something. Now, when you're showing the slideshow, other people won't be able to see this. But you can print out a printout that includes your notes. So it's good to have just a brief bit of information on each slide and then to talk about the information. So, for example, a disaster occurs when hot air rises. In this case, it's a tornado. And that actually is the case for tornadoes. It occurs when hot air rises quickly. And having a sentence like that makes it really clear to people what you're trying to say in the slide. If you have too much information on your slide, it's going to be difficult for people to understand, to look at all the different parts. And it's really good to have an image too. So if you can find an image of how the hot air rising causes a tornado to take place, you want to put that image here. And then you can put information about hot air rising and tornado formation over here on the other side. If you decide you don't want that at all, you don't want any additional information, you just want an image, you can always get rid of any of these panels. When it turns into the 4 directional crosses like that, you can click on your image and just click on your keyboard either delete or backspace, and that will get rid of it. And then you can make this one, your other one, bigger if you want. So then you could have just one big picture and then a lot of information down here about why hot air rising quickly makes tornadoes. So people will be listening to this and just seeing a little bit of information that makes them remember the information that you're talking about. When you're all done, and regularly remember to save what you've done. I'm not going to save this one now because I want to keep it for another time. But normally you would save it and make sure that you know where you're saving it. So this is where this is the type in this presentation. You can leave that. You can leave the file name, but you want to notice where it is you're saving it. So right now, if I saved it, it would be saving it to my H drive, along with the other things in my H drive. And that's all you need to know for now. Enjoy.